Hey everybody, so I got this question from It's Brad Crawford on YouTube, and it reads, I'd be interested in understanding more about how the point system works on NASGA. For instance, are the points based on age brackets or based on overall? For example, if someone scores 960 in Sheaf as an amateur A, would I be required to throw a similar height as a master 50-59 in competition? So how NASGA works, and I had to go do a little bit of research for myself to verify this, is that it is taken from your scores are entered in the database, and then they take the current American pro records. So if you go into all amateurs, all pros, all masters, all women's, those are the numbers in the top corner, and that's I don't know when they decided to take those numbers and stop changing them because they were current pro records. I'm okay with that because it kind of gives you a comparison, leaving the same numbers as those records that we compare to from year to year to year. You can compare your numbers from 2017 to 2018 to 2020 to 2023 as a total score average. How are you increasing? So it's like, hey, let's pick these numbers, stop at this standard, and compare our numbers year to year on that. So you can go look and find them here. So here's going to be the pro screen. And if you zoom up to the top corner, you can see current pro American records. And you see down here the comparisons for some of these different athletes. And here are my own numbers of this year. So I totaled 7146, and you take my number 3511 and divide it by the pro score times 1,000 gives me 774. And you can do this for each event, and then I can see which events my point score is lower for, and comparatively, those are maybe what I need to work on more. So you see 798, 807 are very close. Thousands of perfect score on the caber, and then a lower score here, 748 and 747 in those last two events. So what we do is we take your score in that event, and you divide it. So like I said, 3511 in my Braemar, and we divide that by the current pro record that is listed up there. I don't have it in front of me on this right a second. So it's kind of a percentage times 1,000 to give you a number out of 1,000. So like a set for a weight over bar, I was 747 was my number that adds up to my ranking of 7146, I think it is. So you have the 9 event scores. The only thing that skews them is, obviously, if we talk about masters, they're still going to divide the 42 into the heavyweight score. So it's going to give you an over 1,000 number if you're throwing the 42 farther than that 56 record. Same with the sheaf toss for amateur men. They throw a 16, and that pro record is 36.2, is done with a 20-pound bag. So your amateur numbers may be skewed a little higher. And then your same as your masters numbers with a 42, if you are going to be throwing them better than the numbers thrown as with a 56 or a 20-pound sheaf bag. And even more skewed is the women numbers are based off the same like pro records. So there's a pro men records. They have the women's numbers. I think I saw Christine Rothwell and Megan McKee both had over 1,000 numbers in their heavyweight for distance, which they throw with a 28, but it's because they use the 56 numbers. So to give you the same throw, you just have to do the math. I don't think it's really going to change much as the original question from Mr. Crawford. So it is going to be a average score, or your throw is a percentage of that record that they're using in there for each event times 1,000. To give you 1,000. So in the caber gives you a perfect 1,000 score. In the amateurs, I believe the caber is an 836 is 100%. I guess because they deem the score of the caber is not as high as the pros. These are some things that even myself, after doing this for numerous years, don't really know all the inner workings, everything. All I know is you can look at it and compare them from year to year as long as we don't change those current pro American numbers. Now, if we did, and I threw the same numbers, my average number would drop substantially, because my 7146 would not be as high because some of the new records are much higher than what is listed on there. So I hope this helps you understand how the NASGA database works. So your athletic directors will go in and enter those scores, and there's going to be some typos from time to time, but people try to edit that and keep track of it. And so once those scores are entered, you can see that divided out. And I don't know all the inner workings for Masters with Masters World Championships because I'm not there yet. Haven't paid attention to it enough to be 100% honest. So I hope this helps answer your question. If anybody has any other questions related to NASGA, just remember, it's all like a percentage of that pro record times 1,000 to figure out exactly what it is. Does not matter what weight or event, it's just what's going to be put in there. So sometimes those numbers, another thing to hint on is, can be a little skewed, as in some people may throw rocks that are lighter than others. Some are going to throw heavier rocks. So it's hard to compare stones. It's hard to compare field to field. So I can encourage you to do two things. One, try to win competing on the day. Don't live and die by your record and your numbers. So work on, when I show up that day, we're going to throw on the same field with the same implements. Can I beat those people that I throw against? As well as if you're going to go to the same game year after year after year and throw those same implements year after year on the same field, so the same downhill or uphill or bad rock or heavy weight or whatever it would be, short handle, something, hammer, who knows. But can I throw the same or better each year? So if I throw the stone at Stone Mountain this far, which it's 28 pounds, it's not going to go far. If I throw it 30 feet this year, can I throw it 31 the next year and 32 the year after that? That's what matters, because I'm going to go to a different games and throw an open stone that weighs 16 pounds and throw it much further than I will a 28-pound open stone. So I'm going to stop rambling, because that's answering this question of how NASGA works. Hope you got something out of this. If you have more questions, please comment and I'll elaborate some more.